Hi, this is Tom Gorczynski with an update on the 2023 California disaster postponements. As you know, due to the severe winter storms that have occurred throughout California, much of the state is a federally declared disaster. Because of this declaration, there has been a significant postponement of important tax-related deadlines. The postponement and disaster declaration applies to many counties in California, including major population centers. It does not include every county, however, so please be sure where you're practicing is covered before utilizing any of the postponements. The first thing we have to ask is a taxpayer affected? Thus, are they eligible to use the postponement relief offered? The following taxpayers are affected and able to use the postponement. If the taxpayer's principal residence is in a disaster area, if a business's principal place of business is in the disaster area, if a relief worker with a recognized organization is in a disaster area, if the records for a required act are located in the disaster area, and this can be the case even if the taxpayer themselves is not located in the disaster area. If there's an individual who was visiting a disaster area who was killed or injured, they qualify for relief. In addition, the spouse of any of those taxpayers also qualifies for the postponement relief. So the following tax actions are generally postponed through May 15th, 2023, as long as the action was required to be done on or after January 8th of 2023. So that means Form 1040, Form 1120, Form 1120S, Form 1065, the major deadlines coming up during the first couple of months of this year are postponed till May 15th, 2023. Fiscal year filer. If the return is extended, if the extended deadline occurs within that period, it is also postponed. You can get an additional time on the extension. Any estimated tax payment due within those periods. So for individuals, both the April 15th payment and the January 15th payment of this year are postponed till May 15th. If you can make it, you might want to save the money, earn some interest on it, and then make the payment when it's actually due. IRA or HSA deposits normally due by April 15th are postponed till May 15th. In addition, any action listed in that specific Treasury regulation or in Rev Proc 2018-58 is also postponed. So let's go a little bit into those items as well. The regulation itself postpones most filing and payment deadlines. Please note installment agreements are included. So if you are having a hardship and you can't make your monthly installment agreement amount, it is potentially postponed under the regulation. Retirement plan contributions, tax court petitions, claims for refund. So if there is a refund statute end date that falls during the postponement period, the taxpayer has until May 15th to timely submit the refund claim. Let me say two things about that. One, my view, get the refund claim in as soon as possible. Two, in the refund claim itself, explain what the refund statute end date was and explain it was postponed with a cite to the IRS disaster guidance. This is just to make it less likely that the claim is disallowed for not being timely. Now, it also postpones all of the actions in Rev Proc 2018-58 that may fall during the postponement period to May 15th, 2023. This Rev Proc is long. There's over 130 pages worth of different tax actions that are postponed. Elections, things like 1031 replacement property periods. The list is huge. So if you have something that a taxpayer is doing and you're not sure if it falls under the postponement, look at Rev Proc 2018-58. You may be surprised, it likely is postponed. Now, the following items are not postponed. So this is very important. Information returns in general are not postponed. So W-2s and 1099s, most importantly, still need to be issued by their required filing deadline. Also, employment and excise tax deposits, not postponed. However, the service said that any deposits that are due on or after January 8th of 23, the penalty on that deposit, if there's a failure to deposit penalty, will be abated as long as you make the deposit by January 23rd, 2023. So if somebody missed a deposit because of the storm, as long as they make it by January 23rd, there will be no penalty on that deposit amount. A taxpayer can claim a disaster-related casualty loss on the return for the disaster year or the prior year. So that federal declaration authorizes this. Also, as a reminder, if your client is in the middle of a collection or examination case with the service, they can be on hold due to the disaster declaration. Also, Secure 2.0 Act, one of the changes is the creation of a new type of distribution from retirement accounts, the Qualified Disaster Recovery Distribution. This is very new. It was not addressed in the IRS notice, but the federal declaration likely brings this provision active for most California residents, just something to be aware of. Now, good news is California has conformed to the federal disaster postponements. The FTB has gone a step further and has said it will suspend the mailing of collection notices to affected taxpayers for 30 days, starting on January 13th, 2023. What are the major actions postponed in California? Well, looking similar to what we're dealing with on the federal level. Individual tax returns due on April 18th, the first two quarterly payments for 2023, and business entities whose returns and payments are due on March 15th, 2023. So Californians have a great period of relief due to the storms. They can file earlier if they so choose, but they can take advantage of this extra time. Thank you so much for attending this brief update on the California postponements due to the 2023 storms. Have a great day.